Well, in this country, the press and leaders of the Democratic Party tout immigration as an unmitigated good, always and everywhere, and you're immoral if you disagree. But once they leave our shores and go abroad and are not simply seeking power for themselves, occasionally they say things that stray from the script. Take last week, Hillary Clinton told the Guardian newspaper in Great Britain that Europe needs to curb migration to check the rise of extremist politics. John Kerry, of all people, appeared to agree and went farther than that. In a separate interview with The Guardian 2 weeks ago, Kerry said that Europe has been, quote, crushed by migration pressure, causing instability in Germany and Italy. All true, by the way. Dana Perino hosts the Daily Briefing and The Five, the most beloved person on this channel. She joins us tonight to explain what's going on.
Greg's going to be very upset. Greg Gutfeld will be upset that you said that.
It's neck and neck. But what? I should also note that both of them were attacked by lifestyle liberals in the United States, defenders of the status quo, for saying that. But why did they say that, do you think?
I think you have to go back a little bit. Remember, both John Kerry and Hillary Clinton and Panetta, if you're going back, right, or Panetta, yes, all said that they disagreed with Obama when it came to how to deal with the rise of ISIS in Syria. Okay, so
right.
they all, when they left their Gates as well, they all leave, they all write books, and they all say, we disagreed with President Obama, but he was the president. We had to basically follow in lockstep. They wanted to do something much more aggressive. But because the rise of ISIS is allowed to happen, and then you have the huge migration crisis, and you have Angela Merkel making a decision that will go down in history as probably the worst ever in Europe, in the modern era.
Yeah.
All of these migrants come, and remember, Putin opens up the floodgates and says, yeah, absolutely, you should go to Europe, right? And he knew the destabilization would happen. Yeah. We didn't do anything to stop it. So I think that actually Kerry and Clinton were more centrist and responsible when they were secretaries of state. They weren't able to influence the president, and they fully admit that in their books.
How interesting. Hillary Clinton, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I've often noted she's totally banal in almost everything she says. Nothing is interesting, but she did make a legitimately interesting point when she said this pace of change, demographic change, gives rise to extremist politics. And of course, she's absolutely right. When you ignore the population in a democracy, they seek other ways to express themselves. Do you think that idea, so clearly true, will catch on here?
I do, and I actually think that we have to look at this new Congress and the new governors, the Democrats that won the governorships, just look across the spectrum. If you look at the woman who won the New Mexico 2 district, her name is Torres Small. She actually ran on a pretty tough border security piece, but she also said she wanted to deal with DACA the way that President Trump had suggested that he was willing to do. Look, Republicans are going to take their cues from President Trump. If he says, I'm willing to do something here, let's bring back that deal. Nancy Pelosi, now you're the Speaker of the House. Let's try to work this out. And then I have this little fantasy, Tucker, that Gavin Newsom, the new governor-elect of California, could be a Democratic ambassador who comes to the White House and says, look, I'm not from Washington. I want to help try to solve this problem. Mr. President, you and I should try to work this together. I'll bring the Democrats, you bring the Republicans, and we can try and finally actually get things done. And I think you might actually end up with something President Trump would be happy with, but that would be really good for the country.
That's so interesting. And I don't mean this as an insult against Newsom, just an observation. He doesn't believe in anything. And sometimes the people who don't believe in anything or totally Machiavellian are the ones who get things done in the end.
If you're not ideological. Right?
That's right.
I mean, wasn't that the appeal of President Trump as well, right? He's willing to get a deal done. And I just think that he has political capital to spend. He is in a border state. This is affecting him. Look, his businesses want to figure out a way to get migrant workers to come temporarily to work and to go back. He's got a problem, too, but he also has a political future. And I don't think anyone in Washington is up to the task. I think it's going to have to be someone from the outside coming to President Trump saying, I'm willing to hold your hand and jump together, sir. We can do this. I might be optimistic, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more cynical, but that's super interesting either way. Dana, thank you very much for that.
Thanks.